All right, so we know how to render lists and create any number of forms, right? We need to be able to connect those two, right? Where you can have a list of elements, and then or any element, right? That when you click on it, you like to be able to navigate to some other elements, right? Now, when we did this on regular React, we used a React routing, right? React routing, and so here's something similar, but it's different, right? Because in the routing mechanism in the browser uses the hash mechanism, right? To build single-page applications, right? Where you load the index page only once, right? And then you only manipulate the DOM, right? By removing the old content and replacing it with new contents, right? To give the effect of navigation. Here, there is no DOM, right, that needs to be removed or anything like that, right? So we're just going to be using the a mechanism, a library that is specifically designed for navigation on native clients, and let's take a look at it. Right? So we're going to be using a React navigation. Right? It's another library, so you would need to install it. Right? It doesn't come by default. So I don't remember if I installed it. So let me install it again if I have it. Let me see. I don't believe I installed it. So let's stop that for a second. And let's install React navigation. So while that's happening, so we'll create something simple first, right? We'll just have a simple home page, right, with two links that will allow us to navigate to two different screens, screen A and screen B. And later on, we'll navigate to screen X. But notice here is that not only do we have links that allow us to navigate directly, but also notice that at the top we have a navigation stack. This is called a navigation stack that allows the framework to remember where it has been, so that it can easily just go back, navigate back to where it was. Right. So this is a very common pattern, design pattern, which iPhone made it very popular, and applications follow this design pattern for a while. So that allows you to navigate from a root down to other screens, right? It can remember where it was, and then you can configure, right, how to go back. So you can name each one of the screens, give them a particular name here of giving it the name home. This one, give it a name screen A and screen B, and then as you navigate from home to screen A, it remembers that it came from home. Right? So this is added automatically for you. Right, so that when you click on that, it goes back. It uses a stack, right? So it remembers where it was, and then, as it navigates deeper into the application, it just puts the previous one in the stack, right? And then when it navigates away, it pops from the stack, so it knows where it came from, right? So this one's for free, right? The top level left-hand side, right? But you can also do it explicitly, right? So the stack chevrons here, those come with the stack navigator, but you can also have a deliberate navigation button, right, that you can add yourself wherever you want on the page. Okay, whenever you're done, maybe you want to cancel. You want a cancel button somewhere at the bottom, right, or part of a save, and then when you're done, coming back from the server, you can then explicitly navigate back to a previous page. So let's see if I think okay, it's done. So to create a stack navigator, we're going to be using the React navigation library, which we just installed, right? And in there's a function called create stack navigator, right? And the stack navigator takes as argument the stack, right? It takes as argument all the screens that are going to be participating in the navigation, right? And this would be the root right, of the application. This would be the root of the application, and then you would in each one of these screens you would provide links that would allow you to go one way or another. All right, so let's get started on that. Let's play around with this. Let's see. Let's go to the top of our application. Right, our root is here. It's app. Okay, here's app, and what we'll do is this will be our home page, right? This will be the current home page that we have, and then we'll just add a couple more pages that we want to navigate to, right? Maybe screen A and screen B, right? Let's see. So we'll need to load the stack navigator. And then we'll create a stack. Create navigators a stack, and let's see, how are we going to do this? We don't have a home. I'm homeless. So let's see. So this is our app. Scroll view. So this is a class, and right now this is what we're exporting. Right now we're exporting. What we want to export is this guy over here. This is the guy who we want to export. So okay. So we'll create home, and we'll put all this content in home. Right. Right. So let's grab all this. Right, and we'll create a new home. So we'll say here const home equal, and this could be a stateless. This could be stateless. So there it is. There's home. Right, and we're going to export default export. So here we have app const and just app. And now we don't need this. Right? And we weren't using this anyway, I don't believe. Were we using this? I don't believe so, right? Let's see, app, blah, 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 scroll view, that's home. And we don't have screen A and screen B. Let's see if it's complaining about that. Okay, I believe we're still okay. All right, so that's our home, right? Which was what we already had, right? That's our home. But we'll add a couple of links that will allow us to navigate elsewhere. So let's create a couple of screens here, and the screens can live here, or they could be separate in other components. But let's keep it here for now. Say const, and we'll say screen A. And this could return maybe a view with a text, maybe with H1 that says screen A. Okay, and the same thing with screen B. Okay. Let's see. I think that's it. Is it complaining? All right, no, it's not complaining. Now, home needs to have a way to navigate to screen A and screen B. Okay, so let's do that. So to do that, we're going to need a navigate, right? When you're part of a stack. When you're part of the stack, the framework will pass you as an argument, and the properties, right, will pass you an object, right? It'll be the navigation object, right here, right? This.props.navigation, right, when you're part of a stack, and inside of that object, there is a function called navigate. Right? And in that navigate, you can use that navigate function, right, to explicitly navigate to any one of the screens that are in the stack. Okay. So for instance, we can use any elements. Here we're using a button, right? But it could be really anything, right? It could be a list, right? It could be a list item, right? It could be a text, a view, a button group, anything, right? That you can when you can put an on press on it. Right? And what we're going to do is that we're going to take the navigate function when it's pressed, right, to explicitly navigate to wherever we want to navigate. So let's create these two buttons, and let's add them to the home. Where's home? Here's home. All right, so let's put them right under the fix header. Oops. Copy. There we are. So if we render this, connect to server. Ooh, is this not running? Oh, it wasn't running. It would have been scary if it would have actually worked. All right, let's start this. Yeah, so you can bind that event on any element that can generate a press or a click or on change or any event, right? And then programmatically navigate to wherever you want to go. Okay, that should be coming up. Yes, no? 100%. Oops. Can't find button. Button. Okay, let me load button from, I guess from import button from React Native Elements. There we go. Okay, there we go. So we have go to screen A, go to screen B. If we click on go to screen A, it didn't like that. Undefined this.props.navigation. So I didn't see this. This.props.navigation. Interesting. Why don't you see it? Oh, is it because you are not a component? Really? Should I not be able to see it from here? Let me see if I can retrieve it from here like that. Try it again. There we go. Okay, so it navigates, right? And notice that it replaces the entire component that was there. It replaces it with this new screen. And it adds a chevron at the top saying, oh, you are part of a stack, right? Notice that it has no text on it. So that's the next piece. We can configure how we want to be called, right? What title to use. So you can go back to screen to home or screen B and navigate back. All right, so let's take a look at being able to configure to be able to configure what is it that we want to be called. Well, actually, before we do that, let's see. We have screen A and screen B. Anything interesting here? Yeah, we just have two screens. Notice that we declare our screens on the same file in the same file, but nothing stops it from putting it in a separate file, right? It could be, and you import that other screen, right? Right. So we have screen A and screen B. So now we want to be able to configure what do we want to be called on the header, right? And also we want to configure those chevrons, right? So that when we know to where we're going back, right? So to do that, that's configured in a static variable in the component, and it has to have this particular name, right? The framework, the stack framework, uses this particular variable with that particular name, right? And this particular configuration to configure the title that you want to be named, right? So here, the home screen, we are configuring the navigation options. The title we want to be called home. Now the problem here is that the only way for this to work is that this is an actual component as opposed to a stateless component. All right. So if we use a stateless component, we need to convert it into a normal component, which I believe the home screen is. Our home is a normal component. Is it? I forget. No, it isn't. Right? It's const. Right? So we need to convert it back into just a plain old class. So we'll convert this into a class. We'll convert this into extends react.component. Right? This is a curly bracket. This is a render. This is a return, right? And this is a. Are we done here? Where is this? This goes with what? This is with a class. Is this the render? It is, isn't it? Okay, and then we need to remove that. We need to remove that, and then we would need the constructor, right? We need the constructor with the props and super props, right? And this navigation is actually in the props, right? So this is what? This is this.props.navigation. And this is this.props.navigation. So let's go back, see if we broke everything. Okay, so it looks like we're still where we were 2 minutes ago, all right? So we haven't broken anything. So this still worked the way it was. But now I can configure. I can say static navigation options. And I can give it the title. My title, the way I want to be called, is home. Okay. Now that notice that the title appears at the top. It says, okay, you are in the home stack, right? And if you navigate away, right, if you go to screen A, right, it remembers that you came from home, right? So it leaves like a breadcrumb, right, of where you were, and allows you to go back to your previous screen, right? And so it's home here, and home right here is configured with that navigation option, right? And we could do the same thing for each one of the screens, right? So this screen here, but again, for this to work, we need to convert this into a regular component. Unfortunately, so this is a class which extends React.component, and this is a render, and this is a return there, right? And this is a close render, close that. Now that we have that, we can just have a static navigation option with title screen A. Right? So now when I navigate to screen A, it doesn't show. Why are you not showing? What? Did I spell it right? Static component render. Oh, I probably need the constructor, right? Constructor. No. Why are you not showing? Static title screen A. Oh, options. Grew. There we go. All right, so we're in screen A. And the same thing I would apply for screen B. Right? So we're not going to do screen B. So the interesting part would be being able to navigate back and forth, right? But we want to do it deliberately as opposed to using the stack, right? So we want to, because maybe at the end of a server call or whenever we want to cancel and we want to go back, not using the regular. So let's do that next.